It's Reading with Rella B.
Rella B.
I just have one question. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Are you ready to come along with me? Are you ready
Yeah.
to imagine with Rella B?
Well, hello, and welcome to Reading with Rella B. I'm your host and fellow friend, Rella B, and we will be reading some amazing books today written by awesome authors. But before we get into that, if you're new here, let me tell you a little bit about what we're going to be doing. So first, we're going to start with a riddle. And then we're going to do an interactive activity. And following that, we're going to be listening to our amazing author friends read us their incredible story and answer a couple questions about it. So let's go ahead and get into our riddle. Hint number 1. I can be shown with a smile or a helping hand. Hint number 2. I make people feel happy and loved. Hint number 3. I cost nothing but mean everything. Do you know what I am? I'll give you a few seconds to guess. Good job. If you guessed kindness, then you would be correct. And the reason that kindness was our riddle today is because we are going to be inviting an amazing author to come read to us, and his story is all about the power of kindness. So let's take a minute and think about all of the ways that we can be kind. We can help open a door for somebody, or maybe we can just give somebody space if they realize that they might be dealing with big emotions. Sometimes being kind is just recognizing what other people need. Maybe our friends need a moment alone, or maybe our friends need a hug. It's so important to be kind. So let's go ahead and invite our author friend out. Oh my goodness, friends. Today we're going to have an amazing author come and share their story with us. This is Nate, and he's going to share a story about the planet. You guys know that we live on a planet that we can't really leave, right? At least not right now. And we have to take care of it. So what would happen if we were hurting our planet? Where would we go? Well, Mr. Nate has a story that he's going to share with us and give us a couple of ideas. So let's welcome him. Hi, Nate. How are you?
Hey, I'm good. Thank you for having me.
Yes, thanks so much for coming. So I would love to know, what is your book called and what do the main characters look like?
Sure. The book is called The Amazing World of STEM. STEM is an acronym for Stuart, Tyson, Elmo, Morgan. And the main character is loosely based off of my son, whose name is Naeem. And in the book, there are kids of all different races and religions and skin colors, etc. They're all part of the community. Right?
This is so amazing. Well, I think we're ready to hear it.
All right, so The Amazing World of STEM by Naeem, well, I should say Dr. Naeem K. Turner-Bandele, our illustrator, Kiva M. Richardson, and me, Nathaniel Turner. Oh no, here comes your son, says an exhausted Mrs. Morgan. Don't call him my son. It's too early for him to be mine. I only claim him after the a.m., says Mr. Morgan with a sigh. Good morning, family. Wake up, it's Saturday. I love you, exclaims STEM. A few minutes later, Mr. Morgan arrives in the kitchen and begins making STEM's favorite breakfast. STEM, my world famous super duper strawberry blueberry pancakes are done, yells Mr. Morgan. Come and get them while they're hot. Slow down, Mrs. Morgan demands as STEM eats his pancakes like a caveman. Stuart, Tyson, Elmo, Morgan, you're going to choke. You're eating like we don't feed you, protests Mr. Morgan. After breakfast, a tired Mr. Morgan retreats to the couch. Daddy, STEM asks, what do you think you're doing? Mr. Morgan replies, getting ready to watch a movie or fall asleep, whichever comes first. Oh, no, you aren't, Dad, says an irritated STEM. It's soccer time. STEM and his parents go to the soccer field. It's STEM and Mom versus Dad. On the soccer field, Mom and STEM strategize on how to beat Dad. Okay, Mom, today We have to beat Dad. I can't take his bragging any longer, said Stem. Come on, losers. Let's get this over with, teases Mr. Morgan. Well, look at you two. You finally learned to play a little bit. It's 3-3. Time is almost up. Looks like you're going to have to settle for a tie again. I told you, I'm invincible. Can't be beat, brags Mr. Morgan. Almost out of time, Stem fakes out his father and Mr. Morgan falls to the ground. With the goal now wide open, Stem takes a few more dribbles before he kicks the ball as hard as he can. Just before the clock expires, Stem scores. Stem and Mrs. Morgan jump for joy and give each other a high five. Just beginning to start their victory celebration, the triumphant Stem and Mrs. Morgan notice that Mr. Morgan is still on the ground. Mr. Morgan, unable to walk and in a lot of pain, tells Mrs. Morgan and Stem that he needs to go to the hospital. Dad, Stem says worriedly, get up. Daddy, what's wrong? Honey, are you okay? Asks Mrs. Morgan. Mr. Morgan is going to be okay. He just suffered a slight leg fracture, says Dr. Chu. Stem, Dr. Chu reveals your dad will be as good as new in a couple of weeks. Did you hear what Dr. Chu said, son? Enjoy your first win for now because it will be your last, Mr. Morgan. On the ride home, Stem and his parents enjoy some small talk, but things aren't quite normal. Stem is worried. Stem fears he is responsible for his dad's broken leg. Daddy, I'm really sorry, says the concerned Stem. Son, there is no reason for you to be sorry. Unfortunately, injuries are part of the game. Unexpected challenges are part of life. I'm going to be okay, son. Anyway, even though I got hurt today, it was a great day. I spent the day with my family and playing soccer with my best friend, son, you, expresses Mr. Morgan. Dear heart, your son is so worried. Stem thinks he's failed you. He's afraid you won't be able to deliver the mail and that you might even lose your job, explains Mrs. Morgan. I tried to reassure him everything will be okay. I'll try again in the morning. Good night, says an exhausted Mr. Morgan. As soon as his parents fell asleep, Stem tiptoed down to the garage. Using the secret key fob, he turned the garage into his soundproof engineering laboratory. Performing one calculation after another, hammering and soldering, Stem didn't stop working until it was ready. Stem made his father a self-driving, solar-powered golf cart. Early the next morning, Stem's parents found him asleep in front of the stables. Stuart Tyson Elmo Morgan, what are you doing sleeping on the floor? Inquires a troubled Mrs. Morgan. Daddy, I built a solar-powered self-driving golf cart so that you can deliver the mail even though you can't walk. I added a bunch of cool gadgets too, including sleep-inducing dog treats and boxing gloves to punch that mean dog Max. What's going on, Stem? Demands a hopeful Mr. Morgan. Follow me, says an excited Stem. Stem and his dad go to the nearby parking lot to test drive the car. Stem, this car is amazing, screams Mr. Morgan. After returning home and getting ready for school and work, Mr. Morgan takes Stem to school in the new solar-powered self-driving golf cart. Thanks again, son. You are the best. I'll pick you up after school. I love you madly, says Mr. Morgan. Stem waves goodbye to his dad and shouts, I love you too, Dad. While on his mail route, Mr. Morgan speaks to his customers. Hey, Mr. Morgan, cool ride, Dr. Bashar, Father Gonzalez, and Reverend Chakul each exclaim. I know it, isn't it? My amazing son Stem made it for me last night, says a grateful Mr. Morgan. Assalamu alaikum, says Mir Akbar. What a sweet golf cart. They both yell. A grateful Mr. Morgan replies, my son Stem made it for me for his old man last night. Shalom, says Rabbi Janine. Have a great day, Rabbi Janine, and Mir Akbar, wishes Mr. Morgan. Just like clockwork, mean old Max starts barking and chasing Mr. Morgan. All right, Max, I'm ready for you today. Look out. You don't want to mess with me. Then put something in this cart especially for you, cautions Mr. Morgan. I warn you, Max. Night-night, says a relieved Mr. Morgan. After he delivered the mail, Mr. Morgan returned to pick Stem up from school. His friends and teacher came to see the golf cart. That's pretty cool, Stem, says Amelia, but I would have built your dad a plane. They all sigh. Yes, Amelia, we know. You love planes. We know. Later that night, Stem's parents tuck him in bed. Mrs. Morgan whispers, Stuart Tyson Elmo Morgan, we love you so much. Mr. Morgan declares softly, son, I love you to infinity. Stem falling to sleep mumbles, I love you both to infinity and beyond. Our son is amazing, exclaims Mrs. Morgan. What are you talking about? Laughs Mr. Morgan. I told you after 8 a.m., he's my son.
Oh my goodness, that was such an amazing story. And it goes over a lot of really important things that we need to talk about. Like sometimes we'll be playing and having a fun time and we're not intending to hurt anybody, but sometimes accidents happen. So what do you suggest we do when accidents or incidents happen?
I think we should give ourselves a break and realize that an accident is just that. It's something that's unintentional. And good people understand that none of us are perfect and we're all bound to make accidents. And the way that you learn to get forgiveness is to be a person who offers other people forgiveness. So you give to other people what you want to get in return.
Wow. I know sometimes it's really hard for me to forgive people, but it is really important because I do want to be forgiven when I make mistakes too. So in the book, Stem also builds his dad an amazing machine that will help him even though he's injured. How would you suggest that we help people just in case we accidentally maybe hurt them or broke something that they had?
Again, we do something accidental. First thing we have to do is just say you're sorry and be sincere to mean it. Don't just say it because you think it's the right thing to do. Say it because you know it's the right thing to do. There's a difference between thinking something that you do something that someone told you to do and doing something because you know it's the right thing. So we say, I'm sorry to people because we know it's the right thing.
But we have to be sincere when we say things. Otherwise, it doesn't really mean anything. I would love to know, where do we find your book if we would like to see the beautiful illustrations?
Everywhere books are sold. So you can find the book at Amazon, you can find it at Apple Books, you can find it at Barnes and Nobles, anywhere books are sold. You can find it in Rella B. You're going to get an autographed copy of both editions, The Amazing World of STEM and the second book, The Amazing World of STEM.
Wow, I'm so excited. That's going to be so amazing. Thank you for that.
You're most welcome.
So, is there anything else you would like to share with us today?
If someone is interested in writing a book of their own, I think they should write a book. No matter what age you are, I think now's a good time. Now's the only time to write a book if that's what you want to do. And some of the stories that you're waiting on someone else to write are stories you should write yourself.
That is so true. And we don't have to just build machines like STEM. We can write stories, we can paint pictures, we can be creative however we want.
That is correct. Do whatever you want to do.
Well, thank you so much for reading your beautiful book to us, Nate. I hope you have a great rest of your day. Wow, that was an incredible story, right? It was so awesome to see all the different ways that STEM was able to be kind. So I challenge you to be kind today. And you know what time it is. It's time to find out our co-creators. I hear my friends, Janice, Honey and Coco, Feria, and Aaron had fun today. Won't you join us another day? Thank you so much for joining me on Reading with Rella B. I hope you enjoyed the story time just as much as I did. And if you like to watch YouTube videos and have a more visual experience where we also stretch and do riddles, definitely make sure that you check out Reading with Rella B on YouTube. I'm so excited and I hope that you'll see us there too. And if you would like to become a co-creator, you can go to the Want to Participate tab on RellaBBooks.com. So I hope that I can shout out your name soon, and we'll see you next time. Toodles!